Well, good morning. It is September 2nd, and we've got the remains of Hurricane Ida going over us right now. So it's been raining all morning. I have to bail the dinghy out. As you can see, it's pretty well down on its marks. Got the dinghy tied to a rock here, but I think, pretty sure the time is fine. I'll check that. So we should be back before it comes back in again. So this is Barrett Park, and from here it's about a 1.5 mile walk to Hannaford supermarket. And on the way, I'll pass through downtown Boothbay, seen here at low tide. It's about 8 to 9 feet rise and fall in these parts. This is the Labor Day weekend, so the anchorage has gotten, well, crowded for Maine anchorages. So I've just weighed anchor in these light easterly winds and waste no time in getting the staysail on her. She's going to need all the power she can get, and it looks like I'll have a clear shot because this guy's about to leave. Unfortunately, he still hasn't picked his anchor up yet, so we tack to clear. Now that we got a little more room, let's give her the Yankee. She needs all the rags she can fly right now. In the light winds, we work ourselves out. So just by the clue of the staysail there, you can see the cockholts. So now we're headed back towards Seguin and Cape Small. Winds are light, but we're doing okay. So as we sit here becalmed, we got the seals keeping us company here. The seals have been kind of shadowing us. I can hear them huffing and puffing around the boat. Coming up on Seguin Island here. Got a little bit of wind. Yeah, of course it's coming pretty much on our nose here, but well, at least we got some wind. But, the perpetually fickle winds of the coast of Maine. That's the only constant, is that the wind never stops changing. Rounding back Cape Small here. Oh, nice little beach there. Too exposed for an anchorage now. So by the fading light of the day, I put back into the Basin, which is now one of my favorite spots. I'll do one of my world-famous flying anchor sets here, which is simply lowering the anchor while still sailing slowly downwind. So you use the momentum of the boat to set the anchor, and it does not go unnoticed. Nicely done, Skipper. Why, thank you. Okay, folks. We're gonna have a little bit of a fun one today, at least getting out of the Basin here. The good news is the winds have come south to southeast, which means the wind should be behind us in the narrow pass. The bad news is they've already picked up. They're supposed to really pick up this afternoon, and they've already picked up now. We've got, here's these gusts are upper teens, low 20s. So what that all means is that we're not going to be able to use our outboard to get out of here. Because these gusts are too powerful. They'll just 3.5 horses is not going to be enough to maintain control. So we're going to have to sail out of here. It's almost high tide now, so if we get underway in about the next half hour, we should have just a slack current. So anyway, we'll begin the beguine here. She does not have a lot of power going to windward with just the mainsail set. But in these relatively constricted waters, and with these very gusty and rapidly shifting winds, I think it's going to be a bit much to try to handle the staysail and the main at the same time. Although it would definitely give us a lot more power. Especially as we get up toward the narrow pass into the basin, where these winds are getting even more fickle and fluky. And I want to keep a good distance from any of these moored boats. Because with the wind so variable like this, I can't always be sure I'm going to be able to get her about through the wind. So you can see it just, now it's dead ahead. Even though we're coming around, now we're back on port tack. Now we're on starboard tack. Now we're back on port tack. So these are very tricky sailing conditions. The good news is it looks like the current is just starting to turn in our favor. So we're getting just a little bit of boost, or at least we're not fighting any current anymore. And it looks like we're getting lifted. We might be able to lay the course out at this point. Fingers crossed. It looks like we got it. Looks like we can start bearing away, heading out the entrance. We should have following winds out through the entrance. However, we got to be prepared for very, again, still more very fickle and rapidly changing wind strengths and directions. Being surrounded by all those tall pine trees. Still generally, wind is aft, except now it's going over on starboard jibe. I'm expecting it to come back on port jibe, and there's a fair bit of wind out there because you can hear the trees rustling. So there's wind overhead, it's just not getting down where we are. Watch that jibe. I reckon. So, the party principle still holds. No engine, no problem. Rounding the weather mark here. Well, she's accelerating. That's Jenny Island. 309 Jenny. You can see where that shoal comes out. Don't go up on that. Judicious distance. Then we're going to bear away and head straight down Ridley Cove. We might have to jibe over. We'll see. So we're going to enter Quahog Bay through the so-called backdoor entrance here. Down Ridley Cove. We got to be careful. Right off to starboard here is a 2-foot spot. And we just got to be careful we don't hit that. So that's why we're not heading directly downwind to the entrance quite yet. I'm sailing down summer wind, got whiskers on my chin, and I like the mood I'm in, and I while away the time of day. More little Christian Island. You got a cat boat, it's perfect. Tall and strong, she dips and reels, all her silver hills, and she tells me how she feels. She's a good old boat and she'll stay afloat, the toughest girl and keep smiling. But for one more day she would like to stay and leave Christian Island.